Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Levels Masterclass. These are segments where we bring in top experts and we teach and get a little techie and strategic on exactly some of the cool things you can do with High Level. And I have Kaila Love. If you have never met Kaila Love yet, I want to share some notes here. I've got a speaker bio here that I'm going to read out if you don't mind. Kaila Love is also known as the AI Homegirl, is a creative strategist. She's a system builder and artist from the Bay Area who bridges automations and authenticity. She helps brands and business owners streamline their client journey through high level automations and soulful systems, creating tools like IRL Networking Flow and DMs to dollars to turn real connections into revenue. She also is the author of a book called AI, the Bootleg Brain, a bold dive into practical, philosophical, and political layers of generative AI. As a musician as well, her work has been featured by ESPN, NBA 2K, and she's built digital audience across the globe on multiple social platforms. Caleb, thanks for being part of our high level family and being very, present in our community. It's exciting to get you finally on a masterclass.
Oh man, Paulson, the pleasure is all mine. I am so excited to be here today.
Awesome. So before we get started with our digital card or business networking masterclass that we're about to dive into, Kayla, what's your story? Help the audience understand who you are. They only see the success side of a lot of entrepreneurs, but tell us the full story of, where you come from, what's your journey like, how did you end up at high level?
Oh man, well, I actually do have some slides that visually tell that.
Covers all that. Okay.
Yes, so that covers all that. But a gist of it is that I went from being an artist, realizing that if I was ever going to make it into the music industry and not have it as a hobby, I had to learn the tech side, the business side. And over time, I realized that was very difficult to do as a solopreneur without a budget, without a team. And even though I've always loved technology, I don't have formal training in a computer science degree, and so that's where High Level has completely revolutionized my life, my business, and for all of those around me that I get to work with. And that's what I'll be sharing more in depth today.
Yeah, I love it. Do you mind showing on your phone what you shared with me earlier of like what
Oh,
does the digital card look like? So
yes, this
for
is what we're
those,
building today.
yeah, this is what we're looking at, and what this does is allow you to network and connect with people at a fast, rapid rate. But if you don't mind, let's go ahead and dive in, share the slides, and go right into it. I know we have a limited amount of time with these master classes, so let's take it away.
Awesome. So I'm really excited because today in this masterclass, you are going to learn how to create a digital business card and automate your IRL in real life networking, all powered by High Level. And what this is going to do, oh yeah, and I put period, all powered by High Level, period. Okay. And this is going to allow you to replace all of these other third party tools on the market that are doing similar things. One of the benefits that you have as a high level agency owner is that this is a comprehensive system. And so your digital business card should be no different. Okay. It's a very, very simple value add for agency owners to offer your clients. Or if you're just looking to superpower any in person networking, then this is the tool for you. It's going to help you automate your follow up. It's going to help you get all of your leads into one place and overcome a lot of the headaches that I personally have dealt with doing so many in person events, as well as those for my clients. And I'm going to show you how you could set it up in 57 minutes. All right. So that's going to be my goal for you today. So I've broken this up into three pillars, and you're going to learn how to turn real life connections into long term clients. You're going to learn how High Level automates the entire follow up process, and most importantly, how you can set it all up today. But first, hello, I'm Kaila Love, the AI homegirl. Just a little bit about me, real quick. Before I was a high level agency owner, I worked at the front desk of the Marriott starting from the time I was 17 years old. And I got to learn a lot about customer service in that time. So I was, this front desk hotel clerk and by day, but by night, I was a rapper. I was doing rap battles and competitions and performing hundreds of shows all across the United States. When I would go on vacation, I would actually go on tour and do shows. And so this is where the creative spirit has always come into, my artists. I have some of my paintings back there. I draw, I do all of that. And so I wanted to find a way to bridge my creativity and apply it to my marketing. And so I would do things like creating one of the very first AR filters. So this was a filter that I created with all of my different cover arts, for example. And it'd be like, what Kaila Love song are you? And so I was always looking to find a way to bridge technology with creativity to create unique marketing campaigns to promote, my music. And then later on, it would be my business and helping business owners do the same thing. I also sought out to master content creation because many of you know that is the top of funnel for a lot of us in the ways that we bring in new connections to learn about us and our business. And so, following Gary Vee's advice, I became an early adopter of TikTok, where I grew both of my accounts to over 100,000 followers. And I did that converting with a single post. I did it twice to show that I had a formula that worked and was replicable. And I even wrote a book about it, which I'm going to be giving to you as a bonus if you stay to the end of this masterclass.
Sweet.
Put together, yeah, a little special bonus just showing all of the tips and tricks of everything that I've learned from that experience. I also wrote another book, as Paulson mentioned. This one is called AI, the Bootleg Brain, which is available on Amazon. And here I am with Helen Todd. I did a podcast with her when I was a keynote speaker for AI at the Midwest Con this past year. But I still really loved music, right? I got some success getting my music featured on ESPN the day that my song debuted in NBA 2K, the video game. But it was still a way of trying to figure out how to bridge my music with technology and how I would take advantage of all of the new connections that I was making, whether it was on tour or in the music industry. So if I look familiar, it might be because you see me rapping in the high level group. Even Sean Clark has liked my raps here. Robin, people are like, I've never heard a rap with CSS and API, right? My friends don't understand it, but when I go to tech conferences, they love those raps. So that's just a little bit about my background as an artist and where I'm coming from in terms of bridging the gap between creativity, technology, and marketing. But I'm a techie at heart. Even though I don't have formal training, my degree was in political science, all right, not computer science. But I said, hey, at least I could say I'm a scientist, right? And, and even though I don't have this formal training, high level removed tech as a barrier, allowing me to bring my creative ideas to life. And that's one of the things that I love most about this platform. It has unleashed so many possibilities in terms of, oh man, I wish I could do this, but I don't know how. For example, this was one of the
And you
first
can like
apps that I
scroll
built.
down and like
And
play.
so this is my niece using it. And she was able to click on this little icon and hear what an acoustic guitar sounds like. And so I was able to use high level to build my first app without knowing how to code. And mind you, this was before generative AI like ChatGPT. I was actually just using high level, using the memberships, looking at code snippets, figuring out how to put it in there and piece it together, and then creating this app that now my niece could use on her phone and go through and learn how to make beats. All right. So that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love high level because you don't need to have the best technical skill to excel with high level. And that's kind of the whole point is that you're able to now just take your ideas, I wish that I was able to create this customer experience. And if you can imagine that, you can build it in high level without even having to know a line of code. And now with generative AI, with ChatGPT, you're able to supercharge that even more. So the possibilities with high level are truly endless. Like I said, I started off with no tech. And this is where I'm going to kind of show you my high level journey right here, a quick timeline of 3 milestones in my high level journey. I started my agency, Goal Getters, with no tech. It was just a networking and education event that took place in West Oakland, and that was in 2019. And then fast forward to 2022, Gary Vee invited me to his VCon conference. And that's where I ran into a friend that told me about High Level. And I started my agency that night in the hotel room. I went, I got my trial. I said, this is it. I'm going to figure a way to supercharge this and bring everything that I imagined back here in 2019 to life with this platform once I knew what High Level was. And fast forward 6 months ago, yesterday, I got to claim my Gold SaaSpreneur Award at the High Level Summit. Definitely a highlight of my career, just being up there on stage, hearing my name being called. And yes, I got my first 100 SaaS clients, but through High Level and the offerings that I was giving in my funnel, I was able to launch my business officially with a high level and grow to six figures in 6 months and then claim that award.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, let's pause for a second. Let's pause for a second. Those of you that are watching, put some comments down in just, just encouraging Kayla here because what she's done here is not easy. Like getting on that stage and getting a SaaSpreneur Award is not easy. There's a lot of work to it. Some people take 3, 4 years to do what Kayla did in about 6 months, which is really, really cool because this is someone who just didn't come from a lot of agency experience. You're in a whole different industry and but you're a very creative person. So this is really, really cool. So tell us what happened after that.
oh man. So after that, I've just been coming back and building, and I've learned so much and made so many more connections through going to the High Level Summit. And actually, the snapshot that I'm showing you today was one of the first tools that I built before really even knowing the High Level platform. And I wasn't even trying to show it off, but somebody had a question, and I was like, oh, yeah, you mean like this? And I showed it off, and I had all of these people that were so interested. And I was like, oh, that's kind of one of my throwaway tools. I didn't think that people would be interested in that. And so that is actually what's brought us here together today. And so I'm excited that this is something that I'm able to offer. And it's something that I use every single day, including today. I'm going to a networking event later on. I'm like, oh, thank God I have my IRL tool to help me through that process.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that like Paulson said, I don't want to set the expectation up that, you're going to launch your agency and then in 6 months you're going to be able to like qualify for a SaaSpreneur award. As you can see, there was a lot of steps that happen, right? It really starts back in 2019. And, I didn't have clients for a while. I didn't really know like client acquisition. I'm going to show you the biggest mistake that I made as an agency owner that I see agency owners making and how to overcome it today. But if you do stay true and tap in, especially to your creativity and the experience that you want to create for your clients and the problem you want to solve, you will have success with High Level. There's an amazing team, there's amazing support, there's amazing people that work there, like Paulson, and I'm just so grateful. So, that being said, you see that all three of these events here that I'm mentioning, all of these three milestones were IRL in real life. And so there's so much power of getting in front of somebody and making sure that that they remember you, but it can also be really overwhelming to follow up with all those connections. And so if you're out there doing in-person events or conferences, you want to make it count. And today I'm going to show you how. But let's talk about that big mistake that I was just referring to, right? The big mistake that agency owners make is selling features. All right. Oh, look, I have missed call text back. There's unlimited funnels. There's social media scheduling. There's keyword automations. A lot of times that means nothing to the outside person. They're like, what are you even talking about? Or that sounds cool. I do get all this stuff. But you might have heard it before, but I'm going to say it again because it took me some time to really pound it in my head. But once I did, this changed everything for me as an agency owner. This is what paved the road for me getting that Gold SaaSpreneur Award, which is to sell solutions. And this also informs the way that I build on High Level because every snapshot that I build is with a specific person in mind, designed to solve a specific problem they have. So the snapshot that I'm showing you today is the IRL snapshot, and I designed it for my client and friend, Cassius Cuvée. So this is a Cassius. He actually made it to the front page of the Wall Street Journal. He's also a very talented rapper that talks about, the stock market and finance. And so that was one of the videos that he went viral. He's always on like MSNBC and doing interviews and whatnot. And a little bit about him. was that he is always at conferences and networking events all over the United States. He's always running into people, constantly meeting hundreds of new people. And he also had a video podcast where he'd be booking interviews. And the problem that he was facing in doing all of these events and meeting all these people was frustration trying to follow up across different platforms, right? So it'd be like, oh, you're connecting with people, and some people want to connect on Instagram, some people are on LinkedIn, some people are on Facebook, and then you're going back to follow up with that person. Oh man, was it Instagram or was it LinkedIn? And so it was just him having to go after the fact after meeting so many people, trying to figure out where was that connection and now having all these different DMs. The other thing was lost time due to no automated nurturing follow up system. Right. So again, it would be on him to remember which platform he connected with that person on, then follow up and decide, do I want to send them a booking link? Do I just want to send them a message, etc.? And that takes so much time, especially when you're doing a lot of events back to back. Sometimes, let's just keep it real, you might forget who people are. If you're meeting so many people, especially if they have a very generic name or the same name as other people, if you don't have that name to a face, it might be a problem. And then you end up hitting the wrong person. That could be an embarrassing moment. Cassius was really smart and he takes pictures with almost everybody that he meets. But again, these pictures are scattered everywhere and don't have a central place to live. And so that makes it really difficult because there's also that good old tech overwhelm with trying to
Yeah.
integrate a third party tool. So some of the people will use like the Popple or Dot, and those will serve the purpose of what we're doing. But now we have to figure out a webhook or constantly export our CSV and then put them into HighLevel. And why go through all that when we can just do everything with HighLevel? And that's what I'm showing today. So I set out to create a solution to Cassius's problems with this three-step process. So the first step is what I just did was identifying the problem that I wanted to solve. Step two was to brainstorm the potential solutions to the problem. And step three, all roads lead to HighLevel. We're going to build it and test it in HighLevel. So I took the problem. The first one was trying to follow up across different platforms. And I figured that the solution to that would be just to create one place to connect. Because a lot of times when I would meet people in real life, they'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. Is Facebook good? Is like Instagram? And then there's kind of this moment of tension where you're trying to both figure out where to go, where you can now approach confidently and be like, here, this is the place where we're going to connect. And you just take that initiative and then it takes the guesswork out for them and they're happy to just scan the code. And now HighLevel is able to power that digital business card via a QR code, which you see on my screen. The second problem was that there was no automated nurturing follow-up system. And the solution that I thought of for that was to have a nurture sequence pre-programmed. And of course, I'm able to do this with HighLevel through our workflows. And I have set it, I'm going to show you the snapshot here today where the automation is, it's already set to automate that follow-up in the workflow. Now, the third problem was lost connections from forgetting who people are. And I said, how about we make sure we put a name to a face by taking a selfie with new connects and it'll auto tag where you met. So you never have to second guess where you met that person. And if you meet them multiple times, you can also stack those tags. And of course, HighLevel allows us to do that seamlessly by having internal forms that are capturing all of the information we need to trigger the workflows, which then, of course, trigger the automated nurture sequence. And then the last problem was just the same problem that a lot of people have, which is the tech overwhelm, trying to figure out all of these different tools, how we integrate them with each other. And the solution to this is to have everything in one place. And that's where I have put it all together and created the IRL snapshot. Okay, so the IRL Networking Flow is the solution that I created for Cassius using HighLevel. And this is actually inspired by his song IRL.
Real, in real life. You scan my QR code, you save my contact card in one tap, and then we take a selfie together and it's sent automatically to your phone.
All right. It's that simple. That 11-second clip just shows that we're able, he scans the code, we take the selfie, it comes right to his phone. And now I have that person connected, and I can make sure that even if I'm going on tour, even if I'm doing multiple events and conferences in a single weekend, and I might not have time in between, I know that that new contact is going to get nurtured. All right. So that is what we are building today. Right. So let's go ahead and jump into it now that that intro is done. You see what we're building here? So let's talk about how we're turning real life connections into long-term clients. So connecting, it's very easy. The first step is you're connecting with somebody, you're having a conversation. It gets to that point. Hey, would you like to stay in contact? Absolutely. Scan my QR code. That's the first step. Second step, they enter their info. So their phone number, you two can take a selfie together. There's a little section for notes if they want to put in their company name or add something that you two were talking about. And then step three, your contact card, your VCF is automatically downloaded when they click submit. So they get to save it to their phone in one tap, and then they get a text with a selfie. Hey, Paulson, it was so
Mm,
great to meet you at the HighLevel Summit this year. Here's the picture we took together. Let's stay in contact. All right.
mm.
And now it's not just coming from a random number because you saved my contact card in one tap. So now you see that it's coming from me. So that's the flow that we're building.
So the from number is your number that the system is using.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So that's the other part is sometimes when we network, you'll message somebody, but then you'll forget to save them as a contact. And then you're like searching for the keyword and trying to find them. But this way, it makes sure that you're locked in into their phone, you're saved. It
Got
makes
it.
it super easy so they don't have to sit there and put in your phone number or whatnot. It all happens automatically.
Brilliant.
Thank you. And so now we go from a system where we go from having new connections scattered across multiple platforms, trying to remember who people are and struggling to manually follow up, to a new system where we have a central connection point that's organized, putting a name to a face, tags where you met, and automates follow up. Again, all powered by HighLevel. So now, once you've made that connection, you can decide the experience and the flow or the pipeline that you want that new connect to go. Is it that you just collect their email and then put them in a nurture sequence? Is it that you send them a booking link trying to get them on your calendar for, virtual coffee or to get them on your podcast? Maybe you do want to connect on other platforms like LinkedIn. Well, now you can send to them follow up, hey, here is my LinkedIn account. And you can also remind them where you met a year from now with the whole having, I've done this where I have a wait step. Sometimes, even though I have the automated nurture flows, the time to connect with that person isn't right. And so it might be sometimes a few years, but we just don't want to lose that connection if we went all the way out to meet that person in real life. So this way, it will nurture people over years. The next year, hey, remember when we met at the HighLevel Summit last year? Just a reminder, let me send you that picture we took. All right, just so that now they have that mental image. And maybe that's the point where you reconnect. So the idea is you never have a lost connection. They're always going to be in your system, and you're going to be able to find a way to re-engage with them at some point in the future. Now, those are just some options that I've used, but again, HighLevel makes the possibilities endless, and you're only limited by your creativity. One of the things that I love about HighLevel is that you have 100% creative control on the experience that you want to create. Okay. And now I'm going to show you how HighLevel automates this process. Because, like I said, the IRL snapshot is now 100% powered by HighLevel. Everything from the creation of the QR code that I have on my phone here to the form that people fill out and add the selfie to, that's all within HighLevel, a HighLevel form. To now, I love this new feature. Thank you, Sean Clark and the development team. We can now host our VCARs, the .vcf file directly internally in the HighLevel media storage. Okay. When I originally created this, I had to create a direct download link from Google Drive. No more, because HighLevel is always up high leveling, right? Upgrading. And now we can all do that internally through the media storage. And that makes it so much more simpler. And of course, through our automations, our workflows. And so let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. This is going to be the document that you all will have access to today. Let me just put it in let me just share the screen here because I think it doesn't show.
This is really exciting because I think one of the things that people still look for is the human connection, right? Like no matter where you go, like people love events. They like shaking hands, they like hugs, they like pictures. It's just the humanity, like it's just the humanity of entrepreneurship that I think will never go away. I mean, even as a company, we do hundreds and hundreds of events and go to so many, and we meet so many people, and every single time it's like, okay, how do we stay connected? What is LinkedIn? What is Facebook or Instagram? It's just a common thing everywhere we go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's even going to be more demand for IRL events in the future as AI, everything deep fakes, you go online, everything is just so fake and sanitized and artificial. And people want that genuine, like you don't even, will not even know at a point in time what's real. You have to go out and see it for yourself. And so I
Yeah,
think that people really want to have those authentic connections. And it's just, you make so much more of an impact when you have met somebody and they can remember you and put a name to a
yeah,
face and remember your energy, the way that you made them feel, if you made them laugh, versus when we do typical digital marketing leads generation, right? So it's like we have a lot of that nurturing set up when we're doing our digital marketing part, but now we should apply that same principle to what we do in real life because those connections are even more impactful, right? And so that's kind of the gist of
yeah.
came up with
So,
it.
so I have a question for you. So, could you run this as a service, like a digital service for a small business owner? Like, what if you talk to like a mom and pop shop and they go to so many places or speak at places? Like what is this like an offer that you would suggest people to consider?
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same way that people will offer a single tool like reputation management or missed call text back. This is if you have a client that does a lot of networking events, then you can absolutely offer this as just a standalone, service.
Yeah.
I mean, I showed you some competitors in the beginning, and that's
Right, right.
all they do. So
Yeah.
yeah, you absolutely can. And
There's
as you
demand for it if there's like five CRMs or platforms in that lane alone.
Exactly. So it could just be an easy way to get clients onto this universal platform. And then they might not even know about email marketing or social
Yeah,
media scheduling, but you get them on with this IRL tool because they're doing a lot of in-person events. And then you show them, oh, actually, now you can send them to a booking calendar. Oh, don't worry, we have our own booking system. And
exactly.
oh, don't worry, we have our own pipeline system. And then
Yeah,
it's just a way to get them in on a very
yeah,
like low level, very, very easy to set up, very low labor, low
yeah.
cost intensive. The only thing is that you would want is to make sure that they have an A2P verified number associated with the sub account. That is
That makes sense. So it's a great foot in the door engagement and prospecting tool at the worst. Like that, that's that. Okay, let me get out of the way. Keep going.
No, no, no,
Let's
no. These
keep
are
going.
great questions. And I
Yeah,
actually have like a bonus at the end where I show you how you can use the same kind of idea of this technology to even do in-person activation. So there's multiple ways that you can supercharge this for not just networking, but if you're
yeah,
a vendor at an event, there's just a lot to
yeah,
be done there. So that's why, yeah, I'm just super excited that I'm able to show it to
yeah.
you all
I mean,
today.
the next time you have like a huge concert and a show, I mean, you can even show these QR codes on the screens and like be part of the big branding. And it's not just like a person to person. You can use this at scale as well.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing a show tomorrow and I've set up a selfie scavenger hunt. So you have to go around the venue and take a picture, a selfie with each of the three
Wow.
pieces of art, and it's a QR code. And once you collect all three, again, powered all by high level, then you come to the front and you get like a little bundle,
Wow. That's
right?
amazing.
So yeah, this is definitely for one-on-one, but also as event activations, just to create interactive experiences as well as capture information from your customers, your fans, your participants, your audience at in real life events. So there's lots of applications here.
Brilliant. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be sharing this document with all of you who are attending the masterclass today, and it's this is just showing all of what the snapshot includes. Now, all of my snapshots, I always have an emoji associated. So the emoji for IRL is the little handshaking emoji, and that just makes it so it's really easy to identify what
Yeah.
aspects are connected to the snapshot. But as you can see, it's just 2 forms. We got our fields, our values, and our automations already here. And there's the snapshot link. Now, I also have a mini course that I'm offering where it'll show you the step-by-step directions. I have videos that are only about 1 to 3 minutes long. So you can set this up within a half hour. It makes it super simple. You cannot get lost. Just follow along with the video. I do a screen share. I show you everything from how to actually import the snapshot into your agency, how to load it into a sub account, and how easy it is to get set up. I even give you the template and everything to create the graphic. So you have literally everything that you need to get this set up and working immediately. So again, like Paulson said, it is such a quick value add for your clients or for yourself. We're not talking about something that you have to spend hours setting up or whatnot. Even if you don't
Yeah.
have a digital business card already, I also include a bonus training showing you how to make one from scratch and load it into the media library. So you cannot get lost. You absolutely will be able to do this. And so, yes, this is the snapshot document again that I will be linking. And let's go ahead and let me take you through the workflow. Okay. And then any other questions in while I pull this up?
Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the things that I'll just reiterate for those of you that are watching the masterclass right now is you do have to have a high level account to use high level systems like a snapshot. So anytime like Kayla's providing like a snapshot link, you would only be able to download it with a high level account. And as part of the masterclass, we'll have a separate folder with all these videos and resources and everything. And you do have to jump into a high level trial. And if you do jump into a trial now with this masterclass, you would get affiliated with Kayla and you can get access to additional things that she may offer as well, just as like an additional added bonus if you're interested. But either way, I'm just encouraging you to jump into a trial. It's no obligation trial. You can get all the resources that are part of this masterclass.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you, Paulson. I appreciate that. Excellent. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And I'm going to just show you how easy it is for you to actually update this and get started with it. So I'm going to go into my agencies here, soulstack.ai, and this is the snapshot. So the first thing, once you've actually got it into your account, is you're going to update your information internally. So there's one form that's just for you, and then there's the form that is connected to the QR code that you're going to have people scan. And the
Yeah.
internal form just makes it super easy so that when you're on the go, oh man, I don't have time to go onto my dashboard and open up my computer and go to my custom vibes. Don't worry about it. You have your form. You just update the name. Like there's meeting with JB, event tag, JB meet. And then I would add my VCF link. That doesn't change. So once you put it in one time, you set it and forget it. Okay. And then I would just have this attached to my own internal email. Again, this is never going to be a form that you send out externally. This is just so that we can easily update the values in our account with the up-to-date event so that when we're on the go, we can just update it and then it'll be personalized. And then I just click to update the event info and my values have been updated. And now you'll see when I go to my form that I'm ready. I got my QR code out. And this is what makes it so that you never have to update your QR code. All right. You only make one QR code, one VCF, one time, and then that's it. All you ever have to do now is update that form with the most up-to-date event. Let's connect. And now you can see, unlike other competitors, it's just this stock card where it's like, hey, let's connect. But now I can have the personalization where it's like, hey, let's connect at this specific event that that person is at right now. So when they look at it, it's just more professional, it's more personalized, and it feels like you created this just for them. All right. So that's
Mm,
again why I love HighLevel because
it's
it
the
lets
added touch. Yeah.
added touch of customizations that you just can't do on other platforms. And so it's really simple. They'll put in their name, their phone number. We take the selfie. This will open up their camera roll. And this is all happening on their phone too, by the way. So they,
Mm.
on the phone, and then anything else you'd like me to know. Oh, by the way, can you were talking about that accelerator program? Could you just write that in there real quick? Or what was that? Like, can you just put Hannah's name in there? I want to make sure that I ask you about that later. Right. So that's
Mm.
an optional field if you want to have any type of, maybe their company name or notes to take that they can put in. And once you click it to get my info, that's going to automatically download your contact card. Now, like I said,
Mm.
that's all set up. You don't have to worry about linking and making sure. I've already created the automations for you. So literally all you have to do is fill out that internal form, then go out there into the world, have people fill out this form, and you're good to go. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'll show you what happens on the back end when somebody goes through the flow.
Yes, because now it's automated. Now it's paired up with the workflows or automations that you can build out for years to come if you want to, which whatever format.
Years. That's the part. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna still be networking when I'm dead. You're gonna hear from me, okay? I said I'm immortal out here with high level, right? Be like, yeah, you getting my lead magnets around the clock, all right?
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
yeah, so absolutely. Like, I mean, people have set up some insane nurturing flows that go for literally over the span of years, where you could be setting that same selfie. Hey, I mean, Facebook does it. Hey, look at your, narcissistic ex that you were with 8 years ago. I'll be like, Facebook, could you not? But so you can, if Facebook can do it, you can do it with high levels. So you can literally make that infinite workflow and just have it wait. And hey, remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were at this event. Here's our selfie. How have you been? Or whatever type of communication that you want to have.
Yeah.
And so
I think
they
what I love about it is like there's like a talking point that you just automatically enter, right? Like there's a lot of introverts, there's a lot of socializers as well, and you lose track of these interactions and conversations. But like just the fact that there's a selfie, the selfie is like a neutral party on its own. It's like a neutral topic. It's like, oh, I remember taking this picture with someone, and it's very personal, very like I remember that interaction, right? You can't say I don't remember this. Like it's just not possible.
exactly.
So
It's like
it's a
I got you caught in 4K.
yeah, so it's a great neutral topic to, just open up a new conversation, and you don't have to like introduce yourself and reintroduce and try to remind each other where you remember each other from and all this random stuff. And you're just like, okay, I wasted 10 minutes just trying to figure out where we met.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the beauty of this is that, like I said, like you just mentioned, Paulson, is it will automatically tag where you met and it'll save that as like basically the first attribution. So that even though every time you update that internal form for the next event, it saves where you met that contact at originally. So that part doesn't update. And they also get a tag. So if you wanted
Mm.
to send out communication to people that were specific for just that event, then you have that segmentation built in automatically. So again, I'm giving you all of the infrastructure here, and it's on, I know people have different nurture flows and different objectives for the way that they want to interact with their customer. This is just a way for you to bring them in one place, and then the possibilities are endless. You can plug this into a lot of what you've already built. Just create the workflow. Oh, they're going to go in this nurture flow. They're going to go in this appointment booking flow. They're going to get added to this pipeline. So it's really just to create a foundation that you can build on.
Makes total sense.
Thank you. Yes. So how about we hop into the workflow and I
Yeah,
can show
let's do it.
you exactly what's happening on the back end, all of the secret sauce. And I'll start with the internal form here. Okay. So I showed you a second ago the internal form. And that is going to be the trigger that is at the top of this workflow that causes all of the actions. And it's really simple. It's just going to well, just so that for those who are not familiar with the difference between custom fields and custom values, the custom field is specific to a contact. So, for example, we have an email field or a phone number that is going to be reflective or different depending on who the contact is. It's tied to them. Whereas a custom value is something that's specific to your sub account. Now, custom values can be so cool when you're trying to generate like a website or funnel. I've used it for that. But you know how it said, let's connect, and then it has the name of the event? Well, the form is like, let's connect, custom value, current event. So that's why it's always able to update. So we want to update the custom value so that it always shows our most up-to-date event. And that's what I built here in the internal form. So once you submit that internal form, it takes what would typically what comes in as a custom field and it updates it as the custom value that's unique to that specific sub account. And that's what allows you to use the same QR code over and over and over again and not have to make a new form every time you have a new event, because that would just be a pain. All right. And so we're able to do that dynamically with the custom values. So once you update that form, it'll update the event name, it'll update the event tag, and then it'll update the custom, if you update it, the VCF link. But like I said, that one is pretty much, unless you change your contact information or you want to add a new picture, you get a different title, that's pretty much one and done. So after you set it up the first time, you don't have to continually update your V card again. So it's just those two. So as you can see, we're not talking about anything crazy here, right? That's the internal form. And then the sauce comes with the contact form. Now, this is the one that's connected to your QR code that you're going to have
Mm,
people scan when you're ready to make that connection. And so you'll see that that's the trigger. The form is the IRL connect form. And it's going to send them the message. Hey, it pulls in their name. Great connecting with you at, and then see, this is where the custom value comes in. That's why,
mm,
because it would suck if we had to like put in the event name every time, or if we weren't able to track it at all. And then we're back to the same problem of where did I meet this person? Right. So let's
yeah,
stay in touch. And then I have also as their contact field, their picture, the selfie that we,
yeah,
and that's how it automatically will send the information of where you met as well as the selfie straight to their phone. And of course, you can add your special sauce and personality and
yeah,
edit this however you like. Now,
yeah,
I also had, like I said, the kind of this a first attribution. So it's going to update the first meeting location. That's always going to stay the same so that you'll always know where you met that person. It's going to add the event tag dynamically so that you can always segment automatically if you want to contact people that you met at a specific event. And there's always just that nice dopamine hit when you see that you got a new connect. So it's going to send you an email and say, hey, you made a new IRL connection at, and again, it's going to put the name, it's going to put their phone number. If they put any notes, that'll show up in the email. And then it'll also have the link to the picture. So that's just also for your own. So you can go back and you can see, you can search by the event, and then you can also have an email record. Of course, for people that are more advanced, you can even execute a webhook now that we also have the premium action of Google Sheets, for example. If you connected your Google here, you could also create a spreadsheet so that those contacts dynamically update into something that you could export later as a CSV. Of course, because we're doing this all on HighLevel, those contacts are automatically created and tagged in your HighLevel CRM. But I know that sometimes people like to have other ways of viewing or maybe want to have that information exportable to share with the team or whatnot. And so it just shows that you're able to, again, build on top of this. And that's just another option with the Google
yeah.
Sheets Premium action.
Yeah, I mean, somebody that's advanced, I mean, they might even be tempted to look into WhatsApp or email sequences or, membership stuff or even communities like, Go Collab. Like, th there's a lot of, you know, things that you can build on top of what Kayla's sharing here. This is really cool.
Thank you. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, I love the idea of like a WhatsApp integration. And actually on mine, because you'll notice in the form, because we want to keep it simple, I only ask for their phone number. But I've built it before where I have it here, I can just show you, kind of walk you through. I'll have it here where I'll put a wait step, or I'll add another SMS, and I'll be like, hey, when you have a second, can I also get your email? And to incentivize, especially if you have a lead magnet, then this is where you would want to say, hey, I'm about to release the beta version of my course, and I'd love for you to be the first one to try it. Or I have a guide that I think you would really like. Can I email it to you? What's your email? And I could actually save that and then enter a wait step. And when I do the wait step, I can wait for the email field to be
Yeah,
um, the condition, or it would be contact, yeah, I guess condition would be the contact details for an email is not empty. And then once they send back their email and it gets saved to the high level system and updates, it'll let the system know, hey, their contact field for their email is now filled in. That'll be a trigger to now send an email. All right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's so much that you can build on, and I've definitely done that before. And then in the email, I'll send my lead magnet, and then I'll have all my social media links, which are also in my
Yeah.
V card. But we know how people are. You got to put it multiple places. You got to do multiple follow-ups to just make it easy for people. And a lot of times, when we're making things easier for other people, we're making it harder for ourselves because that means more follow-up, but not with high level. That's the is that you can make it easier for other people and then use high level to make it easier for yourself.
Yeah, my mind is running through all the different possibilities. Like, I mean, if you're a speaker speaking on stages, obviously you can put it on your screens or flyers and stuff like that. You can have it on swag and t-shirts, like just simple QR codes that just allows people to download your information. But more importantly, like the type of interaction you're providing them, it's very realistic. Like, hey, it's just a simple text and it's coming from my number, and it's just like, hey, good to meet you in Singapore. Like, can we
Mhm.
connect next week? You know, like it just like it just feels very real versus like most automations that are like 3 pages long and it's talking about an offer and we just barely even met. You know, like it's this very realistic interaction.
Yeah, because part of what you had read in my bio is that I really seek to bridge this gap between automation and authenticity. And like you see, y'all, I'm an artist, and that's where I've always started in art and music. For me to be as successful at what I do, I have to be able to connect and engage my fans emotionally. And so that's what I've spent a lot of
Wow.
time doing. So now it's how do I take that skill set and apply it to the interactions that I want to have with my fans or whatnot. And one of the things that I love that you mentioned, Paulson, because you're already like thinking ahead of the game. One of the bonus modules that I have if you sign up with me as an affiliate today is the training on how you can use this for additional in-person events. So one of the ones that I have that you just mentioned was in person. You know, you're speaking at a conference. You have the QR code on the screen, you can do lead magnet delivery. Oh, yeah. And I'm giving the bonus or the replay or whatever that you want to offer. Scan the QR
Mm,
code and you can enter it by or a contest by taking a selfie or taking a picture of the audience or something at the event. And not only does that one automate the lead magnet delivery, two, get you the contact information of all the people in the audience that scan your code, but you also get pictures. And you don't have to go around asking people, oh, can you send that to me? So now you get all of this additional
mm.
content that is can be stored in one place that now you can use to repurpose on social media or whatever you want to do with this entire gallery of pictures that you didn't have to go out and ask people for. It's all built in. So now you get all of that data.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
What else?
Right. I know. It's like, but
This
there's
is
more. All right,
yeah,
let's go.
I'm like, man, pictures. What if I could even do selfie videos at some point? It's just an endless possibility.
That's what there's so many. So that's why I kept this snapshot relatively simple so that people
Yeah,
the creation that you can
yeah.
build on top and that this can integrate seamlessly, even if you're a very advanced agency owner, then you still can take advantage of this tool. All right. So finally, how do we set it all up today? Okay. So if you sign up with my affiliate link, then you will get the IRL snapshot. But I also have some bonus resources for you all. So I've created the IRL mini course. This is literally the step-by-step walkthrough. It's actually less than 57 minutes, but I'm being very generous with how much time. And that's including if you don't even have a V card, if you don't have anything, if you've never even set up a high level account, I will show you how to set this up within 57 minutes from start to finish, functional, ready to go, out the door, going. Okay. Bonus training is creating your V card there. The three creative ways to supercharge your snapshot. Paulson already mentioned one of them there, but it'll have the breakdown of that as well as that Canva template. So you can create this QR code in high level. But if you wanted to create more of something like, I have my picture here, it says, let's connect. I have my logo. It's a really simple drag and drop template. I've already made that. And then I simply just put this on my phone and added it as my screensaver. You can have it easily accessible from your gallery or whatnot, but I'm always I don't have time to usually pull it up, so it's like always there on my screensaver, and it just makes
Yeah.
it super, super easy. And sometimes people be like, "Oh, what is that code?" I'm not even trying to network with these people, but they'll see it and they'll be like, "Oh," I'll be like, "Oh, this is a tool that I build or whatnot. It helps networking," and they'll want to scan it just because they see when I'm opening my phone that there's this code. So that makes it just really, really easy and helpful. And then as also an additional bonus, I just decided to throw in my whole DMs to dollars flow. And what that
Okay.
yeah, I'm really excited about this one because this is the tool. If you've ever seen when somebody is saying, "Hey, comment X to get Y," comment song, get my free song, or like a comment finance and get my money guide, or whatever the case may be. Well, I have actually been able to supercharge this in a way that I've never seen any other agency owner use or anybody like period on the internet. Just because I'm a creative and I'm always thinking about creative ways to reimagine the ways that you can use high level. And so I'm going to be providing the snapshot as well as a digital workbook and setup assistant. And this is actually one of the, I don't know, I always say this is the coolest thing that I've ever made, but how can I limit it to one thing when you can just build so many cool things in high level? But you'll get access to this DMs to dollars workbook. It's loading in. And this is the step-by-step guide that you can either use for yourself or you can hand this over to clients and it'll help them with the step-by-step on how to get their keyword automation working. And the coolest thing, if they want to brainstorm all of their information, they can put it in here and then easily add it to the workflow with the snapshot that you'll get. But I also have created this DMs to dollars setup assistant GPT. So you can actually go through and just automatically click like help me come up with the automatic responses, help me create a keyword, and it's already programmed with all of the frameworks on how to set this up. And so it'll just have a conversation with you and allow you to come up with all of the elements that you need. So you'll get the DMs to dollars bundle with the snapshot, the workbook, the setup assistant GPT, and the live training where you can take my framework so that you can actually learn how to sell and pitch this to your own clients.
I love it. For those of you that don't have a high level trial yet, this is a great opportunity for you to get a ton of goodies that's going to help you kind of launch into high level and kind of get your networking to a new level. So, final thoughts, Kayla, as we kind of close out our masterclass, unless there's something that I've missed and you wanted to share, feel free.
Oh, well, I was also just saying, as promised, that I will be giving. I know this is geared towards music artists, but I think there's still a lot to be said in terms of just content creation because I talk about a lot of the fundamental principles of content creation, specifically for short forms. Again, this is my guide to how I grew my TikTok to over 200,000 followers and 10 million views with a single post on each account. Okay. And I have over 25 case studies. And I'm also just going to throw in my NFTs for music. That's another book that I wrote. I'm one of the first female rappers to ever sell her music as an NFT. But again, there's a lot of strategies there that are important for agency owners to know because you cannot be selling in Web3 if you don't even know these basic principles in Web2. So that's going to break everything down for you for anybody who's interested in eventually venturing out to that realm. So those are also included in the bundle with my affiliate link today.
I love it. So, Kayla, as we close out, like, help talk to the person that is just starting at high level and they want to get on the stage at some point to win their SaaSpreneur award. Like what are some, I guess I don't want to call it life lessons, but what are some of the difficulties that you went through that you had to just kind of overcome? Because like the path to winning those awards is not easy. The path to, becoming a top player in the community, like these are not simple, easy things that just happen overnight. There's a lot of sweat, tears, and pain that's behind the scenes that we all entrepreneurs all share, but we never talk about it. Can you just share some of those, milestone moments that you just had to go through?
I think a lot of agency owners will see high level and they'll see all of these amazing tools and features and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so easy. Like, of course I could sell this like $97 a month and then I just do that times 10 and I'm already at $1,000 and I'll just do that, right?" But then it's like, "Well, who are you selling it to?" And a lot of times we'll think of this kind of just like, "Oh, like whoever, local mom and business pop shops or my friend over here," but like I said, build for specific people in mind. Everything that I've built, it's for, Cassius, it's for Lil MC, it's for Daylight, it's for like a specific friend or artist or business owner. And the thing that is beautiful about that is one, now you get hyper specific and honing into that person's problems, because if that person has that problem that you can solve, how many other people do they represent? That is the beauty of high level, is that everything that you build, you now have a template that is replicable, that you can now offer to everybody. So that's why it is a slow grind in terms of it compounds. Now I have so many different tools and so many different snapshots that I can offer depending on somebody's need, but I didn't just build like, oh, I'm going to create 10 different tools. I just focused on the one and I solved that person's problem. I acquired them as a client. And then instead of continuing to build, it's like, who else do I know that has this problem? Because once you solve it for that first client, then you'll understand the language of their pain points. You'll understand how to explain it. You'll have them using it in real life. So if there is, oh no, this didn't trigger, right? It's better to be able to problem solve and fix that on a smaller scale versus now replicating that error to all these different accounts
Yeah.
trying to go massively. So that's really the advice that I have, is focusing on a solution, but not just for this like shadow entity, for somebody that is really specific that you can name, you know where they are, you know what they look like, you know their problems, you can ask them questions, you can see them using, because you'll see clients do not be using stuff the way that you think they will. I'll be like, wait, what happened here? But at the end of the day, we can't just build for the way we want people to act. We have to build for how they actually interact and act. And so that feedback and that data is going to be invaluable for how you build and sell as an agency owner.
Kayla, this session has been phenomenal. I think this is one of the strongest master classes we've done in a very long time. And because we talked about a strategy, then we talked about how to execute the strategy, and then we also talked about the other possibilities of those strategies, right? So someone can take this and build a whole business around it. Now, we're not implying you're going to go make a bunch of money, but you have enough to get started. You have to enough to, be dangerous, in my opinion, at least. That's for sure. So anyways, one more thing. I know you came to the high level summit. Talk to the folks that are kind of on the fence about the summit. Should they come?
Oh man, the summit was one of the best decisions that I've made. Like since starting my agency, it was like, well, one, you got to be in the high level group. Okay. The official community is where it's at. And that's where I got to see a lot of key players and follow them. And they became like my high level heroes. And then the summit just took it to that next level by actually getting to meet people that I felt like I knew because I was following them in their work online, but also meeting Sean Clark, who's taking that picture next to him while he's pointing to like my agency on the Gold Sasspreneur Award wall. The parties were phenomenal. I was not expecting all of that. I said, "Oh, y'all really know how to do it over here at high level." Um, like just all the activations, everything that I was able to learn. The speakers were incredible. The vendors were incredible. But really, I only attended actually a couple talking sessions because just being there with the energy and talking to both staff and other agency owners was everything. Like, I cannot wait to go back this year. It was just one of the best conferences that I've been to. And I learned so much. I solidified so many connections. And I feel like it's just really supercharged a lot for me moving forward.
I love it, Kayla. Well, thank you for the kind words. For those of you that may have caught the masterclass that we just did, maybe a little later, there are replays available. For those of you that are not part of the High Level family yet, jump into this trial now. You're getting a ton of resources with this masterclass, and Kayla will also support you to get kind of launched with your High Level account as well, and so will our team as well. So either way, Kayla, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the conference.
Likewise, Paulson, thank you again for having me today.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.